This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to Covered in Pet Hair, a boozy show for pet lovers on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I'm going to speak to a military veteran who's going to brief us on a recently declassified mission called Operation Good Boy. I will tell you all about him and introduce you as soon as we come back from these messages from our sponsors.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent, a West Point grad, an Army veteran, a gentleman who achieved the rank of captain while serving as a combat engineer. He's an entrepreneur, an adventure seeker, a road tripper, and a fitness fanatic. He's originally from Huntsville, Alabama, and currently calls Chicago home. He is husband to Brandy, dog dad to Holly, and he's the founder of Operation Good Boy, a line of military-grade gear, ultra-durable toys, bag-worthy treats, and more, all inspired by his military career. His name is Tom Aiello. Welcome, Tom. It's so great to have you on the show.
Yes, I'm so happy. I've been looking forward to this ever since we met.
I know. I'm so excited. I am a military spouse. My husband is an Army officer, and he is retiring next year. Awesome. He is, he has taught me all of the things that he's been able to get into this stubborn head of mine with all the acronyms and things. But some things have stuck, and I just love your products. I love the inspiration behind them. And I don't always consider the military a very creative endeavor, but it really is in so many ways. And that creativity is paying off big time with your products, which we're going to talk about. But before we do all that, I want to introduce our drinking game today. So anybody at home participating in our drinking game, anytime you hear this word,
the secret word is toy.
Take a drink of whatever you're enjoying, but please be over 21 to partake in the US. Never drink and drive, and always drink responsibly. So I know we're doing this early today because you have a big meeting coming up, a very big meeting, sending you all the good vibes. So what are you drinking to prepare for this big meeting?
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Got to get those electrolytes, got to get the brain fog gone, and get in there and drop some bombs and make some things happen, right?
Yep, that's right.
Awesome. Well, I'm wishing you all the best in your meeting. I'm actually just sticking to a black coffee today in this adorable mug. You see this mug?
Yeah.
It's a fuzzy dog mug. I love it so much. I got it at Target. It is by the designer Tabitha Brown. Obviously, not so much coffee left if I can do that, but Tabitha Brown. I love her. She has amazing designs at Target. Target, I want a tablecloth made by Tabitha Brown in her amazing prints. Please, I beg you, if you're listening. So anyway, obviously, I'm a shopper. Obviously, as you can tell. And one of the things that I love about your brand is all about how you blended the military culture, the military lifestyle, the military terminology with dog products. So before we get into your story and how you came to be this guy who's bringing all these awesome things together, I want to play a game with you called Basic Training and Then Some. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a list of military trainings, and you're just going to tell me if maybe you completed this or any anecdotes you've heard about it, or just your impression, because obviously you are from in the Army, but these run the gamut of all the services. So are you ready to play Basic Training and Then Some?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're all going to learn a little something. And I actually got this game or the inspiration from ranker.com. And so I have cheat sheet here so that if you don't know what training it is, I can at least describe it to our audience. So here we go. The first one is Delta Force training. What do you think about that?
Delta's kind of at the top of the mountain. I mean, that's as high as you go. They're like, when special forces want to go up, that's where you go. You go to Delta. They're just the most elite war fighters in the world, really. And it's amazing the sort of things that they'll actually learn and apply. And they have really some of the toughest missions you could ever dream of.
Really, truly. You described it almost to a T as how it's described here. So excellent work. But it does say something about halo drops. What are halo drops?
So high altitude, low opening. So basically, when I would jump out of an airplane, we had like a little cord. So it pulled my parachute for me. I didn't have to fumble with anything and pull it. They jump out and they're so high up that the bad guys can't see them. And so they're just dropping. And then right when they get near the ground, they pull their chute open at the last moment because you don't want to be floating, la-di-da, coming down, bad guys see you. So they wait till the last minute and they just open their chute, safely get on the ground and go do their mission.
Holy moly, that's amazing. Okay, this one's pretty elite too. Navy SEAL training.
Yes. Navy SEALs, my impression of Navy SEAL training, because they have all these missions and gosh, there's like movies and books written about these guys. But what I always think about Navy SEAL training is what they call their BUDS training. And that's when they're like very beginning. It's kind of like, it's like saying, hey, if you're going to be a SEAL, you have to do this very, very physical training. They're down at SEAL Beach in California. And they're like doing push-ups with telephone poles and they're carrying them in the surf and they have to swim for miles. And it's pretty, just amazing for the folks that can actually get through that and then progress to the next phase of SEAL training. So, definitely hats off to those folks that make it through SEAL training and serve in a SEAL team.
Yeah, there's definitely an elite, like a very proud, you're pretty much a badass if you say you're either Delta Force. Well, you can't really say. If people assume you're Delta Force, or if people assume you're a Navy SEAL, like they're like, that guy could be a Navy SEAL. That's like the biggest compliment, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Army Special Forces training.
Yeah, they sometimes call these folks the Green Berets, right? Special Forces. So they're like, if you take the best of the best, like Army Rangers, and then you say, okay, now let's teach you foreign languages. Now let's teach you specialized weapons training. Let's teach you all these amazing things. We could drop you into a country. You could be our sole representative for our entire country for the president, helping build a nation. Special Forces can do that sort of unique mission. They're amazingly trained. They're nation building. They do very elite sort of Navy SEAL-like missions as well. They're just incredible. I have many friends who are Special Forces, and Dave Kovaleski, if you're out there listening, I'm talking about you. But it's just amazing. They're really at that elite group. Probably right below Delta in SEALs, but again, just tremendous, the best of our best.
Yeah, so these are actually ranked according to public opinion of what the hardest. So we're going from the hardest to the also hard, but not hardest trainings. All right. Marine Force Recon Program. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, so Marine Force Recon, it's kind of like if you've got an Army infantry, then you've got Army Rangers, and Rangers are more elite. It's the same sort of thing here. An average Marine is a tremendous warfighter. They go through a ton of specialized training. Marine Force Recon, they're like training those folks to go on the front lines, to do reconnaissance missions, to be able to operate independently, have a lot more lethality on the battlefield. So those folks are kind of a notch above the average Marine, but super specialized and very impressive.
All right, last one, Army Ranger School.
Yes, Army Rangers. That's probably the biggest group of all those you mentioned. And a lot of people across the entire Army and actually other services can go to Army Ranger School, which is cool. We just had our first females in the last few years going through Ranger School, which is pretty cool. And it's an elite. It basically teaches you all sort of skills. You go through mountain training, desert training, swamp phase, and you're learning all these different skills in these different environments because you don't know where you're going to be served, where the mission will be called. Some people have described Ranger School as learning how to just suck it up because you got really cold, you're wet, you're miserable. And if you can get through that, you're like, okay, there's nothing really that's bad enough that I'm going to be worried about at this point forward.
Exactly. Actually, my father-in-law went through Ranger School, and I know people who were super athletic in my generation who
Yep.
did not make it, that really couldn't do it. And I mean, it's obviously something emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually taxing. And I have hats off to everybody who has
Yes.
even considered completing these trainings, because it's hard enough to enlist or
Yes.
to become a part of the military, and then to opt or to be chosen to complete these, it's pretty special. I have to do one more shout out though, the Air Force parachute para-rescue training. I don't want to leave the Air Force out. So I guess honorable mention for them. What
Yeah,
would
no,
you
they're
say
good.
about
I have
that
a
training?
dear friend of mine they call them PJs, not pajamas, but parachute jumpers. And so they're the specialized folks. Let's say a plane gets shot down behind enemy lines. These brave folks are going behind enemy lines to save that pilot. And so they're pretty rare breed because they're willing to risk their lives. And I think that's our motto, like, so that others may live or something like that. But really, really impressive.
Wow.
They're doing those halo jumps. They're coming in. They're trying to secure the pilot could be injured. They know first aid, and they're trying to get him or her out and save them. So it's pretty awesome. I think they're very dear to the whole Air Force just because
Oh
of their
yeah.
mission. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a huge and impressive and important mission. So you went from being a captain and serving as a combat engineer to designing dog products that are inspired by your previous career. So how did that happen?
Yeah, when I got out of the Army, I actually went into advertising, and I worked on the Army advertising account. And it was a great sort of melding of my backgrounds, learning about communications and marketing and my experiences in the military. And you sort of fast forward that experience to when the pandemic hit. And I was really looking at how important our dogs were. I know for my mental health, my dog was my lifesaver, right? And every day, having a good day, having a bad day, my dog would come up, she'd put her head on my lap, and she knew when I wasn't having a good day. And I just said, our dogs are so important to us.
Yeah.
There's got to be something out there. And then I look over at these guys that started Black Rifle Coffee. And I'm like, they are just disrupting the entire coffee industry, and they don't really care, right? They're proud. They're unapologetic. They're just out there saying, hey, you know what? We love the military. We support, all people that serve, and we're kind of patriotic group. And so that was sort of the idea, like Operation Good Boy. We can do the same thing in the pet category. For the whole, America, people love our country, and, with dog products that are cool and fun and have that sort of emotion that you have in the military. And that's what we try to give them.
That's so cool. You've done an amazing job. So the military teaches a lot about logistics and about organization. How does that help you in this endeavor?
Yeah, invaluable. The planning a mission, like your husband, like planning a mission in the military. I mean, it's identical to planning a new product launch, a new campaign launch, because you're looking at where do we want to get to and what are all the steps we have to do. We have this thing in the military called 1/3, 2/3 rule, where you take 1/3 of the time, you give 2/3 of the time to your soldiers or airmen or sailors to get the job done. And so all those sort of things you learned in the military completely transferable into business or the pet industry.
Absolutely. How are consumers reacting to what you present to them? Is it resonating as much as it does with like a military spouse dog lover over here?
Yeah. And what's interesting is like I think more people that are responding are not like they directly serve, but they may have had a relative, or they just like, they're the folks that have like the USA American patch on their sleeve of their t-shirt, and they're just patriotic, and they
Yes.
love that there's a brand for them. But it's so great. You see a lot of like people sharing, saying, hey, Joe, this is you, or hey, Tom, this is you. And so it's a lot of fun sharing like that. And they've sort of kind of led us into how we can talk about ourselves, how we can communicate. And it's a lot more fun. The military has an awesome sense of humor. You're married
Yes.
to somebody, so
Yes.
you know that. Like, we're kind of silly, kind of,
Yes.
we don't always
You have to be.
get 4-letter
You
words.
have to be. Yeah. Yes.
so
You all
it's
talk
fun.
like sailors. You all have potty mouths like sailors.
But it's
not
like
just
we're
the
always
sailor.
well-intended. We're always well-intended, right? And it's like, so if you know where we're coming from, it's all great. We're all talking the same shit. We all been through the
Yes.
same stuff together, and it is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the military touches everybody, even if you're not directly, obviously married to it or reporting for duty every day. Like the military does touch everybody in the United States. And if it hasn't touched you, don't date in DC, because then it'll end up, you'll end up in the DC area or anywhere where there's a military base. Just don't date there if you don't want the military to touch you in your life. But really, I think the military is so important to just the American culture at large. And we always want to see people supporting our military canines, which we're going to talk about. But right now, I need to take a break. Let's listen to our sponsors. And when we come back, I want to give my audience a really true experience of your products so that they can run out and buy them. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Operation Good Boy.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I'm having a conversation with a military veteran named Tom Aiello, who is the founder behind Operation Good Boy, a brand that has blown me away, pun intended, because I love the fact that he was able to blend something so serious as the U.S. military with something so fun as dog toys. So I want to introduce you, Tom, to the next game we're playing, which, as I said earlier, I'm a big shopper, like big shopper. Don't tell my husband, because he's even worse of a shopper. So we don't play into those, like my husband controls me, because if he goes on your website, he's ordering everything for Kira. Okay, Chris, you're not allowed. All right. So this game is called Let's Go Shopping. Yep. And I'm going to give you the name of your products. So you're very familiar with these. You have literally conceptualized them, brought them to fruition, to the market. But my audience may not know about them. So because most of my audience is going to be listening to this, either on Pet Life Radio or on podcasting platforms, I want you to explain to them what it is that this name describes. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Treats ready to eat, TREs.
Yes. So in the military, we have MREs, meals ready to eat. That's our lunch. That's our dinner. That's our breakfast. When we were thinking about creating these meat dog treats made in the USA, we're like, we can't just have dog treats. We have to have TREs, treats ready to eat. And then the fun part was like, okay, well, we want some that are like beef jerky. We want some that are like sticks. We want some small ones that are like 1/4 inch for training. And we tested different flavors. Dogs like chicken, dogs like turkey, dogs like beef. So we finally got all these, and we're like, had the fun job of then naming them. And so like that was really fun, because you're giving the customer like a little bit of that sort of culture, that emotion of the military. So like, we're not going to have beef treats. We're going to have Delta Oscar Golf treats, right? Yes, everyone knows how to spell phonetically, like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, right? So like having stuff like that, like we have Sergeant Snacks, we have Freedom Treats, Stars and Strips, which is a beef jerky. So it's a lot of fun, and customers sort of, they see it and they're like, oh, this is too fun not to buy. And then they're like, wow, it's really good. I mean, it's like all made in the USA, top quality products. And that's fun, because then they keep buying our TREs.
Yeah, I love it so much. How about doggy bombs? What are those?
Yeah, so doggy bombs are what dogs make when you take them to the dog park. And what we did is normal poop bags are pretty boring, right? They just like red, blue, whatever. We have a little bomb sign on the side of our of our poop bags, and it says doggy bombs. So when you're talking to your neighbor in the street with your little cocktail, or you're at your dog park, you just sort of break that out and you go, oh yeah, doggy bombs right here. And everyone looks and laughs and has fun. So that doggy bombs.
I love it. Awesome. Bazooka ball.
Yeah, bazooka ball is fun. So we wanted a rubber kind of ball, but we wanted to make it where it did a couple things. It could help the dog's teeth, and there's a little sort of X at the bottom where you can stuff a couple of treats in there. That's always good because then the dog is eating your bazooka ball and trying to get those treats and not your boots or your shoes, right? So bazooka ball, it's camo colored, it's fun. You throw it at the dog park and you can play for hours.
I love it. It's awesome. And I do agree that it's a really good alternative to like a snuffle mat, which snuffle mats are great because you can hide the treats, but a high chewer is going to destroy a snuffle mat in seconds. So this is your heavy chewer alternative to a snuffle mat. All right. Dog medical kit.
Dog medical kit. We looked at like all the things that are out there that aren't out there. And we said, why is there not a dog medical kit? Like a little simple medical kit I can carry around. I like to go hiking with my dog. And what if the dog, gets torn, an arm going across thorns, or something in the paw? It's very basic, but it's very useful. And there are items like Band-Aids. So if a human pet parent also has a need, you can dip in there. So it's just kind of a no-brainer. Like we have, first aid kits in every branch of the military. Why don't we have them for our dogs? I'm like, so this was a no-brainer.
Absolutely. I am a pet first aid instructor. I just interviewed an expert in camping and like adventuring with pets. And we both agreed that you need to take a smaller, more portable dog first aid kit or cat first aid kit on your hike. Leave the big one in the campsite, bring one that's more portable, that's more seamless, have it in the car, have it on your hikes. We need first aid kits for pets. Like you're not going to find the same things you need for a dog in a human first aid kit. So I love that idea. Congratulations on that because it speaks to me. How about this one? This one, speaking of camo print, tactical treat pouch and training clicker. I love the design. It's beautiful.
Yes. So, a big part of where we come from is sort of the working dog community. And a lot of that is training. And so like one of the Army veterans that worked with us really closely was Dr. Tim Lunam. He was an Army veterinarian and an airborne ranger per year earlier. and he was just great at talking about like how all the trainers, they're training these working dogs in the military. And these are common things that pet owners need. If you're a professional, you need these too. And so it kind of got us to these particular products. And we said, well, we just can't have a normal pet pouch for treats. We want to have one that's camo that you can, hook on to a backpack on the belt. And in the clicker is cool. It's got a kind of a like this subdued military design to it, and it works great. And we've even we have a training card that shows not only how to like train the dogs to do different things, but actually you could teach your dog how to salute.
Oh, I love that. That's adorable. You see, you've thought of it all. Like I consider myself pretty creative, but y'all are kicking my butt. All right. Next one, the canteen and dog bowl boot.
Yeah. So who doesn't on the road go hiking and you need that great canteen where you can keep all your ice water, but then like sometimes you don't want to carry a separate thing for your dog. So this is kind of 2-in-1. It has this like rubber boot. And what I found is the rubber boot fits just about any standard size water bottle, which is great. So you could like, if your Operation Good Boy canteen is in the dishwasher, just grab any other one and just stick it on the bottom. And then so when you're taking a break, you slap it down, pour some water in, and the dogs they know what to do right away. They go to town. So
perfect. All right. The grenade toy.
Grenade toy, boy, besides supplements, probably one of my favorite. So it's like, think of like a Kong, right? A big, sturdy, natural rubber toy, very durable. Again, you've got a spot at the bottom for the treats, but it's a grenade. I mean, who doesn't want to go to a dog park and just go, grenade? And then all the dogs go chasing after it. It's so much fun. The dogs have fun with it. What's fun is people, we get hundreds of customers, they'll send us pictures. And I'm thinking like, they're just going to like, just tearing things. They're like treating it like they're whoopee. Like they've got the dogs have it, it's like, don't touch my toy grenade. Like it's their little whoopee. It's awesome. We love the grenade toy.
So cute. And you have other toys. I just can't list them all. I love the one that's like, it looks like a mask.
The mask.
It looks like a mask. And then you have a beer one.
Yes, the beer plush
No,
toys.
it's like it says something of like chewing something. It's something I'm not familiar with. But then there's the military intelligence, like tug toy, which I
Yes.
loved. I gotta get back to you on that one about it's like a mask, I feel like. Let me I'm gonna look it up so that we can.
Oh, you're thinking of the tug toy. It's a tug
Is it
toy.
a tug toy? It's a tug toy. What is it
so
called?
It's like a 3-loop tug toy.
Yes.
Camel tug toy. Yes.
Okay, and then the tactical leash and collar. So let's break this down a little bit more than we did the other ones. Tactical is getting a lot of use, the word tactical. All over Super Zoo, I was there last year, I was there this year, and I saw a lot more tactical gear and things. What is it about tactical that pet parents should know, first of all? And then describe your tactical leash and collar.
So for us, tactical means really high quality materials, high quality manufacturing, and functionality. That's really what it comes down to. So materials, we're using really heavy grade nylon, which is probably thicker than those real thin, smaller ones. So it's going to be durable. It's going to last. We put like neoprene on the inside. So there's a handle, which I love because there's times where you're like, I don't want to leash my dog, but sometimes I need to, hold on to my dog, make sure as this other dog walks by, we're okay. Right. And so that handle is so nice. And it's got a big D-ring, and the leash, when it comes in, it's got like a quick release like we had in the military. Yes. So you just push it and it automatically clicks on, which is fantastic. So super high quality. We come in OD green, army green, and black. And those have been really, really popular, and people love it because they're just really high quality, durable.
Yes. So I like the idea of tactical and long lasting products because a lot of us, when we first get our pets, and I'm a veteran when it comes to pets for sure, because I've had my own pet since I was 17. I've worked with hundreds of pets as a professional pet sitter, business owner. And I see this every time. The first time pet parent goes for the cutesy. They don't know that it's not safe. They don't know that D-ring is going to fly off. They don't know that leash is way too thin or not durable, or it's going to get messy, or it's going to get dirty in the snow. They don't know any of that about that. It's the veteran pet parent that's like, I'm going to get a new dog. I'm going to adopt. I'm going to buy whatever. And I'm going to buy one awesome leash. I want one really good, trustworthy, reliable leash that I know is not going to break, that I know that even if my dog chews on it for like 5 minutes on the way to the vet, it's not going to fall apart. I'm going to be like with two different pieces of.
That's happened to me with one of those small ones. I turn my head away. The dog is eating through the leash. It's like, how did you do this?
Yeah. So to me, it's interesting because there are some brands that are doing kind of tactical stuff for kids stuff, for baby gear. My husband was given like this, actually you guys have the travel duffel. So there was like a diaper bag that looked very much like a military grade diaper bag. And we have a wagon that was a very big investment, but it's amazing. My husband, the second he saw that wagon, was like, this was made by somebody in the military. Just because of the features that the wagon had. And he was right. We went and Googled it. We researched it, and it was. And I think that that's what you guys do really well, is that you have the experience of what is safe. I mean, you've jumped out of planes. You know what is safe.
Yeah. And one thing that's been great is we've been going to more and more events. The working dog, the trainers, they really pull us in. They're really not bashful when it comes to giving us really good feedback. And so, hey, this is no good. You need to change this. Okay, let's go change it. Let's take the old ones off the shelves and let's go change it. So that's been really good. And because we're young, we can make those changes early on. And it's not like we're this big company. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, no, you guys know what works and what doesn't, what's, like you said, functional and what's long lasting. Because if you're going to spend money, and like a lot of these cheap stuff, like it's cheaply made, but it's not necessarily affordable.
No.
So the tactical stuff you have looks so solid. I saw it at Super Zoo. It's really well done. It's really well made, especially for big dogs. I can't imagine taking a risk with something that's just not up to par.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. So we're obviously it's November. We're celebrating Veterans Day here. We're going to do a little toast to our veterans. But I found that one of your gift boxes was just like the perfect holiday gift for like a new pet parent, or like if you really want to spoil someone. The enlistment gift box. Tell me about your gift boxes and how you decide what goes in there.
Yeah. So we thought early on, we're like, hey, we need to make these gift boxes because sometimes, I mean, veterans, we're beloved. You married one, but sometimes we're a pain in the ass and we're really hard to buy gifts for. Right. So
My
like, we're
husband is not. He's
oh,
actually such a look. You see my cat?
I love it. Get it out.
He's not hard to shop for, but let me tell you something. If I were to buy any of the stuff on he's going to watch this, but so I'm not able to. But if you're a military spouse and you want to wow your partner and get your dog some awesome stuff, by all means, this is the place to go. So
Yeah.
you guys are hard to shop for. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, we are. We just like we like stuff that's rugged, that's durable, and there's certain things we get, and we're like, it's a little too cutesy for me. Like, I don't want it. And we feel bad, like we might wear it, like that Christmas movie where the guy wears the little bunny ear outfit. We're like, oh, we hate this. This is not who I am. So we wanted, gift boxes that you can give to anybody. It's like, you have to be a veteran, like just somebody that's outdoorsy, that loves hunting, loves the military. And it's fun. And when we thought about, we were going to do we're going to do the Air Force one, the Navy one, but it just felt like it was kind of flat. And I said, when you think about the military, you think about these experiences, and I could say something like boot camp, and your husband, all these memories rush at us, right? So it's like, that's the emotion we need to give in these gift boxes. So boot camp, enlisting, first joining the military, and then when you deploy, the nervousness, and then the amazing feeling when you come home, and just, so those are the themes of our gift boxes. I love it. We try to give that, and the items are sort of hand selected to sort of be with that theme for each box.
I love it. And I love the way that you used enlist for your mailing list. That was so good. Whomever came up with that, chef's kiss. All right. So tell me, what's Holly's favorite product? Your dog.
Holly devours our Sergeant snacks, and she devours our new supplements. So we have a new line of supplements that are coming out, and so Holly has been privy to all our samples. Ooh, and she is about biting my fingers off when I break those out because she loves them so much. So definitely those, if I want to get her attention, I walk to the cabinet, get those out, and I've got her undivided attention.
That is awesome. I know you are coming out with a line of supplements. When can we expect to see those?
So on our website, look, Veterans Day seemed like a nice day to get those out there to the community. So that's where you see it. It'll probably delay a little bit to get on Amazon and retail and other channels. It'll take a couple weeks, but yeah, we'll officially launch on Veterans Day on our website.
Amazing. Amazing. So good. I'm excited to see. And you've worked with a veterinarian to formulate these, correct?
Yeah. Dr. Tim, he's been amazing. Like, he has kept everything above board. He's pushed back a lot of times. We're like, this is what we're thinking for the formulas. This is what we're thinking for the design of these toys. And he's like, no, that's not right.
Got it.
As a vet, like, I wouldn't recommend this to my patients. And so he's been wonderful. And he cared for hundreds of working dogs in Iraq when he was overseas. So he brings so much experience and knowledge. He's just integral to the team.
That is so cool. I love that so much. And you actually refer to your team and your customers as a loyal pack. And I know that one of the things that you like to do is support military canine organizations. Tell us a little bit about what you do for them.
Yeah, we knew all along, like, there's got to be a give back component to the community, right? Is it veterans? Is it service dogs? And what I found was, like, all these canines that serve, there's really nothing established for them. Like, I have the VA. I can go to the VA if I need to. These animals who've risked their lives, they probably have injuries sometimes. There's nothing for them. So all these little shelters go out and they take care of the animals. They give them veterinary care. They give them a home. So that's where we decided to put our give back. So, if you give $3,000 to a big organization, I don't know where it goes. But if I give $3,000 to this smaller shelter, that makes a huge difference. And then we find another shelter. We do that, and we could kind of go and find these shelters. And it's sort of saying, hey, we appreciate what you're doing for these animals.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so important because I too, actually, my next episode is with a military canine organization. And when you really dig into it, they have so many challenges after having made so many sacrifices for our servicemen and women and for our country, that it's only right that we as Americans support what they do for these dogs who do so much for us. So thank you for obviously including them in your concept and in your business. Well, I would like at this point, because we're going to wrap it up, I'd like for you, usually I propose a toast and I will do that, but I'd like you to propose a Veterans Day toast. Propose a Veterans Day toast for veterans and all that they do for the military and for the country.
Okay. Well, I would like to propose a toast to every man and woman and dog that has ever served our wonderful country, is currently serving, or will continue to serve in the future. You sacrifice more than our country knows. You give so much and you ask nothing in return. And I cannot think of a more honorable vocation in life. And we salute you today. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much for that. I want to drink a little bit, but I also want to propose a toast to you so that everybody knows just how I'm honored that you made the time to talk to me. And I'm honored to have met you at Super Zoo. And I'm so happy to see the military being represented in the pet industry. It makes my day to see two things that are so important to me and my family come together. I'm getting literally emotional. So here's to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I also want to propose a toast to our executive producer, Mark Winter. Thank you, Mark, and to our audience for joining us for these awesome conversations. I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe Veterans Day weekend. And here's to a life covered in pet hair, because there's no better way to live. Cheers.
Cheers.
To learn more about Covered in Pet Hair, please visit coveredinpethair.com or petliferadio.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.